Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today's video is going to be about my 2021 Constructors Championship in F1. So let's get right to it. So obviously, first up, we have Mercedes. You cannot deny their dominance has been insane over the last years. Obviously, Hamilton breaking the world record, becoming most. Obviously, Bottas is going to be hard for him this year to battle him. I still think it's going to be Hamilton P1, Bottas P2 with a Mercedes. I think for this year with the new regulations set back to 2022, Mercedes is going to win the Constructors Championship again this year, like they did last year. And today of recording this, Red Bull has announced that they'll still remain with Honda beyond the 2022 season. So I still think they're going to be the biggest competitors for Mercedes. So I have them in P2. Obviously, this year's lineup is going to be insane. You have Perez and Verstappen. I'm not quite sure if Perez can beat Verstappen, just because Verstappen's on a whole new level. So Verstappen's more familiar with the Red Bull car, more familiar with the team, and Perez is quite new to the team. So I think it's going to take some time for him to develop at Red Bull and sort of get accustomed to it. Verstappen for me P1 is going to be the better driver for Red Bull, obviously, I think. But Perez has done sensational this last season, so I think he's going to bring the battle to Verstappen more than Albon or Pierre Gasly could Red Bull. So for P3 we have my favorite, McLaren. Everybody loves McLaren. Okay, they have the best lineup in my opinion, they have the best lineup for this year. They have Lando Norris and Daniel Ricciardo. Obviously McLaren is my favorite. They have the best lineup in the year, in my opinion. They have Lando Norris and Ricciardo. The chemistry is going to be insane. I think they're both jokers, and I think everybody likes McLaren just because of the drivers and how interactive they are with the community, if that makes sense, and the fans. So yeah, everybody's just geared towards McLaren. McLaren also this year have upgraded of course from Renault, from the Renault engine to their Mercedes engine. In my opinion, this is going to be it could be a sort of a make or break moment, but I think it's going to be a make moment with the McLaren engineering. I mean, I think it's going to be a good season for McLaren. They're going to repeat the third place in the constructors like they did last season, which was very clutch. Very nice to see that happening. I'm a McLaren fan, by the way, if you couldn't tell. So McLaren P3, a new Mercedes engine, a new lineup. You have addition with Ricciardo, even though Sainz was an incredible driver for McLaren. Sad to see him go, but we have Ricciardo now, and I think arguably Ricciardo's a better driver, but Sainz was also a good team. It was a good member of the team. The chemistry was still there with Lando as well when he was in McLaren. But yeah, I'm very excited to see McLaren perform well this year. Definitely going to be within the top competing teams even after the new regulations, in my opinion. So they're going to be one of the big boys again. In P4, I've decided to put Aston Martin, aka Renault Point, aka Force India, whatever we want to call it. Yeah, so their lineup this year, Vettel and Stroll. Now Stroll did well. He qualified really well in Turkey. Didn't finish through, but that's another story, you know. He did well, but relatively compared to Perez, it's quite a hard act to follow. But yeah, I still think he's a decent driver. He just needs to. People give him a lot of crap just because he's rich, which I guess but I don't know. I feel like he's steadily improving over the years. Hopefully we'll see him do well for Aston Martin this year. You have Vettel. Now Vettel, this is exciting to see. Okay, this is exciting to see because obviously now I've put Aston Martin above Ferrari. I think Vettel is gonna do exceptional this year. He's gonna do so well. Ferrari's gonna hate it. I think that's what's gonna happen, right? Because Vettel, obviously, an amazing driver. He's gonna be in a Mercedes essentially. So, I think it's going to be amazing to watch Aston Martin race this year. I do think they're going to beat the Ferrari with the 2020 Ferrari being like very slow. Yeah, very exciting to see these teams and very exceptional drivers really race against each other. That's what everybody wants to see. Really, nobody wants to see Mercedes dominating everything. So yeah. For P5 after Aston Martin, we have Ferrari. Now this may be a bit controversial. You may want to put Ferrari fourth, but I do think before the regulations for 2021. Their 2021 season won't be that great. Unfortunately, I mean, who doesn't like the Tifosi? It's Ferrari. Yeah, it's a basically heritage. It's sad to see them do bad, but yeah, obviously they have a great young driver lineup. They have Leclerc and Sainz, both very well drivers. Considering what Leclerc did with that 2020 car, it was absolutely insane. So it would be nice to see them. I think they're gonna have a lot of good battles between them. Same thing with McLaren. I think McLaren. Both young drivers, both aspiring ones. Maybe Ricciardo is a little bit older than Lando, but they're both hungry, if that makes sense. So I think we're gonna see a lot of good battles between the McLaren boys and the Ferrari boys. They're gonna be fun to watch. Most of the Leclerc and Sainz are gonna be super competitive against each other. Leclerc obviously is a very good driver. In my opinion, he could be challenging Verstappen. Like I think he's on the level of Verstappen. Driving. Yeah, it would be nice to see Leclerc in a Red Bull. But Perez is there. I mean, I'm happy with Perez. But it would just be nice to see Leclerc there at some point in the future, battling Verstappen. And that would make F1 a whole lot interesting. After Ferrari, we have AlphaTauri. Okay, this also might be a little bit controversial because I didn't put Renault or Alpine this year. I didn't put Alpine before it. But this one is a little bit more optimistic. It's a little bit more optimistic and controversial and more of a YOLO. I think it's gonna be Red Bull AlphaTauri. Hear me out, okay? Gasly did an exceptional season, and you have the addition of Yuki Tsunoda from F2. Which I mean, Yuki obviously a very good driver, P3 in F2. I think he's gonna add a lot to the Red Bull team. Danny Kvyat, we all love the torpedo. He'll come back. I'm sure he'll come back to F1. This won't be his last race or last season. Yeah, it's sad to see Danny go, but I think Yuki Tsunoda and Pierre Gasly will fight hard this year. Gasly with that P1 and Italy to win. That was amazing to watch. Even though as a McLaren fan, I really wanted Sainz to overtake him, but he just wasn't quick enough. He didn't have the boost. He was just too far behind. Sad to see that. I really wanted Sainz P1 in his last season with McLaren, but that didn't happen. But Pierre did it. Yeah, amazing job by Pierre. So yeah, I'm hoping and I'm rooting for AlphaTauri. Hopefully they'll go on to do big things. Obviously with Yuki Tsunoda and Pierre Gasly. I think they can do that this year. They can beat Renault. Maybe a little bit optimistic, but I'm hoping for something big here. Yeah, we'll see how it goes. This is what's nice about doing this video. After the 2021 season, I can just come back to this, see the dumb stuff I said, the right stuff I maybe got. You know, it would be nice to see this after. I think most of these are rational or somewhat make sense, but I'm swinging a little bit optimistic here for the AlphaTauri above the Alpine. And maybe some would say the Aston Martin above the Ferrari. But I'm going to stick with it. You know, I'm going to stick with it. I think it's likely to happen. We'll see what happens, obviously, in the 2021 season. So, obviously, P7, we have Alpine, a.k.a. Renault. Right. So, we have this year, obviously, Ocon. And since Ricciardo left, we have the addition of Alonso. Alonso is a great driver. Don't get me wrong, but I feel like he's been too far out of F1. Even though the laps he did in Abu Dhabi were insane, he had good times on that. Ocon is also a young driver from the Mercedes team, drivers development. He has a lot of potential. Esteban does. So I mean, it would be exciting to see maybe Alonso can be a mentor to Ocon. I definitely think they're still going to be competing a lot, but I think Alonso's on another tier, obviously, than Ocon. He's a lot more older, more experienced. So Ocon can pick a lot from Alonso. So Ocon is really the winner here because he could just learn from Alonso a lot. Yeah. So I don't think I'm putting Renault very, very down because I think this year, I don't know, it's just a hunch. It's just a hunch. I'm operating on a hunch. It may not be rational, but I think they're not going to do as well as they did last year. So yeah, Alpine in P7 with Alonso and Ocon. For P8, I'm choosing Alfa Romeo. Obviously, these top three teams, they've been stagnating. They've sort of like plateaued at the same level. You have Alfa Romeo sticking with their original two drivers, the Iceman, Kimi Räikkönen and Antonio Giovinazzi. Yeah, I think they're going to continue to do well. They're going to score a couple of points. Yeah, you know, I think within the top three, bottom three teams from the 10, they're the best for sure. They have a better car, more experienced drivers with Kimi Räikkönen, whereas the other two have new drivers, less experience. Yeah. So for P9, I'm gonna go with Williams. Now, although Haas did better than Williams last year, Haas now has a new roster with rookies in it, Schumacher and Mazepin. I think Schumacher is gonna do exceptionally well. Mazepin, not so much. I think, obviously, with all the recent controversy that happened with him, nobody really wants to see him in F1. I don't think. But when he speaks, yeah, I don't know. Let me know what you think about Mazepin. You think he's gonna do well with Haas? No. I think Schumacher is gonna be obviously way superior at Haas. He'll pick it up quicker. I think he won. He finished P1 in the F2 Championship last year. Very impressive stuff. Excited to see a Schumacher back in F1 again. So yeah. So for P9, I'm gonna go with Williams. Now, although last year Haas did better than Williams, this year Haas has new additions. They're less experienced drivers. You have Schumacher and Mazepin in. Schumacher obviously done insanely well in the F2 Championship last year. He finished first, won the whole championship. He's got a lot of potential to grow, in my opinion. So yeah, I'll be excited to see a Schumacher back in F1. I think he's gonna dominate Mazepin and Haas. He's gonna do well. He's gonna out-qualify him, I think. Yeah, basically Schumacher for the win. Because Mazepin, I don't think anybody wants to see Mazepin in F1. But I guess money speaks. Let me know what you think. Let me know what you think about Mazepin and Haas. Do you think Latifi and Russell? They're both great drivers. We obviously seen what Russell has the potential to do in Sakir. It's just unfortunately didn't work out well for him. Obviously, we've all seen what Russell can do in a Mercedes in the Sakir Grand Prix. That was amazing. Seeing him, watching him battle Bottas like that, overtaking him. Obviously, it didn't go well for him in the end. He wasn't lucky. Was really excited to see him finish first, but unfortunately that didn't happen. The win was so near, but yeah, I think it's going to be a great season for Russell this year. It's going to be amazing for him. Hopefully, I would love to see Russell later in the future at Mercedes, maybe against Hamilton. That would be amazing to watch. Great battle. So now in P10, P10 will have to be Haas. Haas, they've let go of their drivers. You have Schumacher and Mazepin in now. Schumacher, obviously, an amazing job. He's done F2. He won the whole championship, P1. He's got a lot of potential, I think, and he's just a rookie, so he's gonna need some time to get used to the F1 car. Obviously, it's a major step up from F2 to F1, so he needs to get used to the car. I think he's gonna get used to it really quickly and adapt really well. Rather than Mazepin, I think he's gonna outperform Mazepin, in my opinion. He's gonna do very well. Excited to see what he can do. Maybe we'll see in the future a move to Ferrari. Yeah, we'll see how he does this year, and maybe he will. But yeah. So yeah, this is my prediction for the 2021 season. I'm gonna rewatch this video after the season and see how well I did it. You know, I think most of these are sort of implied, you know, it makes sense to put them there, but some of them are a little bit more ambitious than others. So this season's gonna be exciting to watch. Obviously, everything's in lockdown at the moment in the UK, so it'll be nice to have some racing back. I've missed it. You know, I'm missing the weekends now. Okay, guys, this is the end of the video. Thank you for watching this far. Like and subscribe, and please comment down below what you think the 2021 season is gonna be like. Who do you think is gonna be the top, the bottom, maybe biggest flops? Let me know. Let me know down below. I'm gonna read the comments for sure. Yeah, it'd be great to know what people think about the season.